We got a quarterback, Will. We got a quarterback, Will.
Who is it?
Jarrett Stidham. Then Zach Wilson and Bo Nix demoted to third string just to keep us guessing.
No, it's about time. Stidham or
Gotcha.
You're so good at doing that right at the worst time. Or maybe the best time. Who knows?
Who knows? Welcome, everybody. It is a glorious day for That's Good Sports. The thing we knew that was going to happen because we have eyeballs and we can watch football. And we said, Bo Nix, pretty good, looking pretty good. He's officially been named the starting quarterback of the Denver Broncos. This is not a surprise. We fucking knew it was going to happen. And now it just feels good that the news is out. Your initial feelings here, Will?
Just a matter of time. I don't know. People were kind of pressing him to do it sooner and sooner. And I'm glad that he waited, he being Sean Payton, waited until we got to see 2 games out of Bo Nix, because I don't think there was any scenario where he was going to play in that third game. But we got a good, strong debut, I think, against the Colts. Played well enough, showed maybe a little bit of jitters early on that he got over, but then just looked like totally in control against the Packers. And we joked, it's not really a joke, that he should have had 2 touchdowns against the Colts if Josh Reynolds had caught that one ball in the end zone. But he really should have had 2 touchdowns against the Packers too if he was, a millimeter closer to the line of scrimmage or touching the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
That would have been a really impressive touchdown to Javonte Williams on that scramble drill. But overall, we got to see him away and at home with the twos and with the starters, and he passed both tests. So I think he did what Sean Payton wanted him to do, which was actually go out and earn the job. Which he was the first of the rookies, I think, to emerge victorious in a true battle for the starting position.
Yeah, I think he could have lost the starting job for week 1 had he played terrible, had he made Sean Payton nervous. But he did the opposite of that. He did exactly what we thought a guy who got as many reps as Bo got in college would do, and has come out and play like respectable football. I'm not trying to say like everything he did out there was amazing or that he's got no room to grow. And God knows the stupid ass Packers really made it hard to gauge with their number 2s. But, I've watched worse in the preseason and been hopeful.
Yeah, it's just so much better than like trying to talk yourself into. I mean, we all saw like Paxton Lynch in the preseason.
Yeah,
against like 4th stringers. They didn't look this good. We saw Drew Lock in his rookie preseason kind of briefly. And it didn't look this good.
Didn't look great. Russ didn't look great in preseason either.
Russ didn't look all that great. all that great a year ago in preseason. And Nix has just looked clean. I think that's the best word for it, which is really impressive for a rookie. He's looked clean. He's looked in command. He's looked calm, too. He looks so much more calm against the Packers.
Yeah. Yes, it is definitely still okay to say let's ride. I don't think we'll ever stop saying it. Do I like it? No. Do I accidentally say it still? Yes. God, I do. It's ingrained. But we're on to Bo. We're on to Bo leaving. We're on to what?
God bless Bo Nix.
God bless Bo Nix. We Bo leave. Big Nix energy. Whatever wordplay, whatever pun you want with Bo or Nix. Like, I'll cut off my dicks for Nix. Whatever you want to say, it's acceptable.
Boner.
Zach Wilson trade to Minnie. Thoughts? I mean, if the Vikings really want him, I'm sure we'll ship him over for something of value.
A Darnold, Zach Wilson QB room. Incredible.
Yeah.
Jet fans' dream.
I don't think the Vikings really need Zach Wilson's services, and I think Zach will be better suited to just stay here with Sean Payton, who, for all intents and purposes, wants Zach Wilson there, likes Zach Wilson. So,
yeah,
I'm working on a video right now about Tua and Brian Flores, and I can't understate how important it is for a young QB to have a coach that wants him in the building. And Bo Nix, same thing. And you could argue that with Russell Wilson and Sean Payton. And I don't think Sean Payton was as toxic as it appears Brian Flores was for Tua. But I don't think once Sean Payton kind of learned who Russell Wilson was as a quarterback, he had moved on. He had moved on in his mind. That was never going to really work. Sean Payton wants Bo Nix, and I think we will see the best version of Bo Nix you could get at the professional level. I still don't know who he is as a pro, and I honestly still think week 1, Bo Nix is not going to look that good. I think I think Bo has played well, and he's done all the things we've wanted to see him do. But he's going to go up against the Seattle Seahawks defense with a very good defensive head coach there now in Mike McDonald. And, he's coming over from Baltimore with the Ravens. So I think Bo he's done well on medium difficulty. And now it's going to go up to expert. And I expect him to look a little bit worse for that first game, maybe through the second game. You got to play a Steelers defense too. But I will panic. I will overreact, obviously, when it happens. But grand scheme of things, I think that's fine. It's part of the development. And I'm not saying he's going to look horrible, but I'm trying to be realistic about what I expect from Bo week 1. And that's kind of a regression from what little we've seen, because the competition he's playing isn't at that same level.
Yeah, and so many people are going to freak out too.
Yeah,
if that is the case against Seattle, which I don't know if I would notch that down as a win right now. I'm not saying it's impossible. Like he's familiar in that environment because he played at Washington in a huge game.
Yeah,
last year against Michael Penix, and both quarterbacks played really well in that game. Washington won. But he's not going to go into that stadium not expecting what is going to be a very hostile crowd.
Yeah.
Obviously, reading a Mike McDonald defense in your first start is probably not not ideal. I don't know that it's any worse than like playing a Mike Tomlin defense with TJ Watt and Minka Fitzpatrick roaming center field. And all the guys they have over there. But the truth is, like, there's not a good point in the season to just kind of plug him in.
No.
Because you're just gonna run into good defenses. You're running into the Chiefs twice a year and a Jim Harbaugh team twice a year. And so you got to take those lumps at some point. Might as well do it right away. Because there's not really like – you go from Seahawks, Steelers to the Buccaneers to the Raiders. It's like those first 3 teams are playoff caliber.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, do you want to just wait to play them against the Raiders?
And even the Raiders, like they might not be a playoff team, but their defense is really good. That's not a great outing for Nix anyway. It makes sense to just start him.
Just throw him in there. Like, I think against Seattle, what you're going to hope for is that he shows some nice flashes, shows some control, puts together a few nice scoring drives, and you're going to expect a couple of mistakes as well.
Yeah. Russ had nice numbers last year. I think as long as he's better in the sack department, and it looks like he definitely will be because he gets rid of the ball more quickly. He throws to the whole field, the full field. Sean's got the full field to work with. I think that's going to make a difference.
Yeah.
And really, again, it's so limited, but outside of his like first couple throws, Bo, when you said like he's jittery, those were the only like scary throws he made, right?
Yeah.
Like after that, he hasn't put the ball in a bad spot. He hasn't given his guys like a chance to do something with it. And his big mistake after that was being just a little bit over the line of scrimmage on a touchdown throw to Javonte Williams, which live, I thought he was way over the line when he threw it. Then I saw the replay, the accurate replay, and he was pretty close. So it wasn't like he was that far off base on where he was on the field.
Right. It wasn't silly.
No.
As far as like matching Russell Wilson's numbers, I mean, 26 touchdowns to 8 picks would be awesome. That would be great. I would be disappointed, however, if he was only putting up 204 yards a game. Because remember, Russ barely cracked 3,000 yards passing last year in 15 games, in fairness. I also think 66% completion rate would be pretty low for Bo.
For Bo? Ooh, he's going to start right out at 69, 70, Drew Brees type numbers. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, Brees was like 70, low 70s for 6 years of his career. He surpassed 70%.
That's crazy.
Which was unheard of for a while.
Now
that might be. I got the stat. I think he might have led the league in completion percentage 6 times, and he topped out at 74.4%. in 2018.
Okay.
I think you can expect Bo to hit like 68.
68%?
Yeah, I think that. I mean, we're talking about a guy who completed 77.5% last year at Oregon, which obviously is college football and a different offense, but he's accurate. He's going to get rid of the ball quick. One thing that Zach Stevens tweeted that I thought was interesting is they're like, Sean Payton wants him to slow down his process a little bit, like he's processing the defense too quickly.
That would be my problem if I were an NFL QB.
Yeah, so he wants them to slow down.
I mean, I think probably
third option.
Probably what Sean's saying there is like he's going through the progressions a little too quickly, and it's about, at the NFL level, making sure you give each one of those reads the proper amount of time to set up. Versus what we watched with Russ, it was like read 1, not there, check down to Javon. Read 1, like, and Dan Orlovsky was breaking down Russ doing the exact same thing for the Steelers. And he wasn't even saying like Russ was making the wrong decision, and that was a lot of what Russ was doing. It wasn't like it was the worst decision to throw it down to Javonte, but Orlovsky was pointing out like there's a better option on this play, on this throw, and Russ was just not seeing it. And of course, I say that in the last video, and somebody's like, "Why the fuck should I listen to Orlovsky? He ran out of the back of the end zone." Yes, of course, he ran out of the back of the end zone once. But he did make it to the NFL as a quarterback
for like 10 years.
He's saying the thing. He's also saying the thing I agree with. So I'm definitely going to highlight it when it fits what I saw. Yeah, this is true.
Cowherd does like him.
Yeah, I do. He liked Drew Lock too.
He predicted Drew Lock to an MVP.
This is a problem. If Bo sucks, we can blame Colin. Easy.
Well. Yeah, broken clocks are right twice a day.
Yeah, but that scares me a little bit, Mario. At least we know Payton's offense can get receivers open, and we have 100%. It's fair that the Broncos let Russ go. I don't know if Russ went to the right place, but he wasn't a fit for Sean. It's fair to give Sean a quarterback who can do what he wants, and now there's no excuses. And it doesn't all have to work this season for Bo Nix and Sean Payton. But as long as they build that foundation, and it's hard. Like, I want to just fast forward to late November and December and see like how Bo Nix is playing then, because that's when we're going to start to know. I think September will be a little wild, and even October, like there's going to be some growing pains, I believe, with Bo Nix.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to make like insane rookie mistakes that are costing us games. I think like we're going to maybe be just a little bit bored with efficiency at times and be like, he's got to learn when to take some more chances. I think it's going to err on that side, but he seems to fit much better. And I think that's big right now.
Is that one of those Fanatics hats that wear like a yarmulke? No, this is not Fanatics. This is a 47 hat.
Yeah. Will just has a giant head.
I have a big head. Yeah. I recommend this hat. It's a good one. Yeah. Do have a big head. It's like Bo Nix.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think he ran a one read offense.
Yeah, I don't think that's
he's
true.
He's not running it right now. So we'll see. We will see. You know what else we'll see, Will?
What's that?
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what we'll see.
Whoa.
You will see Mr. Unlimited's wild ride only on Underdog Fantasy. Underdog was cool enough to give Urinating Tree and I a contest. As you can see right there on the official site, TGS times UTree. So this is our contest. We're both partnered with Underdog. We did this contest last week, and it filled up so fast. Tree and I didn't even get to like promote it in a video. Like we didn't even talk about it. We tweeted about it. It filled up so fast. So Underdog's giving us another contest. If you're going to play, please sign up with my code That's Good. I have a link in the description. This contest, $10 entry. Where's first place? 10 grand. Second place, $5,000. If you win, it's a best ball fantasy draft. You can enter 5 times. I better enter now just to be safe. Sweet. As you can see, it fills up pretty quickly. You select your players, then Underdog uses your best score every week, your best possible score. So once you draft, you don't even have to think about it. But this is Urinating in Trees. It's our contest, which is really, really cool. We wanted to get that done for a while. So if you want to play in our contest, there's the code, link in the description. And that's how you join. And if I get 10,000 signups, 10,000 Underdog has to pay me a lot of money, $1 million. And guys, $1 million. Who do you think benefits from that?
Carmi,
my daughter, and Will, and Johnny Barks, and everybody who makes this show freaking run. And the plan is to use that to keep this shit going for the next 5 years, the next 10 years. So your support there means a lot. A lot of you have signed up. I appreciate it. That's our contest. Let me put up a disclaimer. Where's the disclaimer? Where's my legal disclaimer?
Please disclaim. Please
need it. Oh, thank God. All right. I'm not done. I'm not done talking about Bo Nix. I don't think Will's done talking about Bo Nix.
No.
I think we got many years of Bo Nix. Let me get some of these super chats here and answer your questions. As a lifelong Donkeys fan, I'm excited, but I don't want to get hurt anymore. None of us do. I'm at least hoping we can get consistent first downs. Yeah, I think we will. I think you'll see Bo throwing closer to the first down marker.
Bo will keep the chains moving, which I think was we had a lot of fun last year. We had a lot of fun, but again, like the last, and I say 2 years, meaning really the last 8, but it's just so frustrating when it feels like it's feast or famine on offense, and
Yeah.
you're subject to watching so many 3-and-outs. It's just a brutal way to consume football. And I think Bo Nix is really the antidote to that. Like, is he gonna, throw rainbows down the sideline and do all this Caleb Williams stuff? Is he gonna dazzle you? Like, not necessarily. Like, he's gonna pull off some cool stuff. But his biggest asset is he's just gonna keep the offense on schedule.
Yeah. It'll be on schedule. And we've already seen him make a lot of the throws he needs to make.
Yeah.
So, my pick is up. First pick. Who am I going with? You know what? I haven't taken Garrett Wilson much. Let me take Garrett.
Garrett Wilson.
Garrett. Who do I take with my second pick? I like to switch to projected points versus average draft position. So, sometimes guys can get drafted really, really high. Now I'm picking again right away. Ooh, I really like Saquon with Philly. A lot of advice is to make your first 2 picks receivers. I respect that, but I'm going to just take my running back now just to be safe. All right. Brandon, it's been a minute since I've caught you live, got back from my deployment to Egypt. I remember you in Egypt in May. Just wanted to let you know I didn't die, thank God, on 3 Boeing flights back home. Bo looks good.
Boeing.
Glad you made it back, Cal.
I hope you saw Aaron Rodgers in Egypt.
He might have.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really want that responsibility, but if you guys want to write me in, I respect it.
RFK Jr. dropped out.
Tweet me photos if you write me in for president.
I don't think. Are you allowed to do that?
I don't know. Making my
ballot. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Let's see here. To pray that Bo Nix sweeps Kansas City. I'm not a big Broncos fan. Just hate the Chiefs. I respect that, Michael. Dude, if we sweep the Chiefs this year, I will feel so good about Bo Nix.
If we can just get one again, I'll be very pleased.
Guillermo, I'll be happy if Gardner Minshew balls out for you for the Raiders. I'll be very happy. He is not a crook.
Too many cooks. We had too many cooks last year.
The Nixon administration's beginning, guys. I might bandwagon Denver this year since my Lord and Savior Jerry Jones is all in to selling his soul to crush any hopes of a Dallas playoff. Yeah, make us your side team, Whisper. Guess what? You have our permission to do that. Okay. We've talked about Bo. What are your other feelings about the Broncos right now? Will?
My feelings.
Who are you excited about her? I'm just happy. One, Tim Patrick looks like he can still play.
Yeah, for sure.
That was nice. And then who's the safety that just had a few picks?
Keydron Smith, was it?
Yeah, his first name always stumps me because it is different.
Well,
Keydron Smith, a couple picks behind JL Skinner and PJ Locke right now. Turner Yell's on the PUP list, and then they have Brandon Jones from Miami. But, maybe Smith makes the roster. Opportunistic back there.
Well, yeah, so I want to talk about like the 2023 draft that we had versus the 2024 draft because Payton was on The Athletic. I watched that this morning, and he was talking about how good that the 2024 draft was shaping up, the one we just took.
Sure.
But from a year ago, it goes like this. Marvin Mims, the second rounder, I believe we traded up for him. Maybe a top 3 guy on the depth chart. depending on how they divvy up the snaps and
Sure.
responsibilities. Drew Sanders not playing this year, injured. Riley Moss did not really play last year, but looks like he's just about locked up. Corner opposite Pat Surtain. He's going to face about 10,000 targets every game. JL Skinner battling for a safety spot. Alex Forsyth looks like he's not going to win the center job. Looks like it's going to be Luke Wattenberg.
Sure. Full wattage.
Full wattage, so a little iffy on that draft. Obviously, you don't have a first rounder. This draft, most recently, goes Bo Nix. Feel pretty good about that right now.
Yes.
12th overall pick. Nothing until 76, where you take Jonah Ellis, who's looked incredible.
Yeah, he's just looks like powerful off the edge.
Powerful, quick. I think he had a sack maybe against Green Bay, but he's disrupted a ton of plays.
Yeah.
And he's caused a couple turnovers, which is, he's going to rotate in on the edge.
100%.
And I'm really excited for that. Hopefully he can, by the end of the year, he's starting next to Browning or Bonito or whatever happens, or Cooper.
Yep.
Troy Franklin, anonymous so far.
Yeah, I think he's going to take some time, and I think we thought he was going to be, kind of inserted right away. I don't know how much of it's true because it's hard to really decipher sometimes, but it sounds like he's had trouble picking up the offense, and I don't think that's a knock against him. I think that's more of a signal to like how complicated Sean Payton's offense is. And even though Bo Nix and Troy played together at Oregon, like a lot of what their language there no longer applies. A lot of what their chemistry they had on certain plays, like it's completely new. And so I think that's just going to take more time than we thought.
Agreed.
And I still think he's going to be good and it's going to work out. And luckily, Tim Patrick is giving me confidence. Like we don't need Troy right away. Like if we have Sutton, Tim Patrick, and Mims, like those are our three at receiver, then I feel pretty good about it. And
you throw in Reynolds too.
And Josh Reynolds and Devon Vele. Like
right.
Very high on Vele.
So on one hand, you bring up Vele.
Vele for Vele is what I say.
Okay, so you have Troy Franklin, who's this guy who is a little unpolished, and he falls. He's a potential second rounder who falls to the fourth round. You kind of see why he fell to the fourth round, but he needs a little more time to get seasoned, I think. So it might be like close to a redshirt year for him. But Vele, like it's now or never for Vele because he is how old is he? He's
39,
turning 27 this year, which is old for a rookie.
Sure.
So you want him to perform on that, just hit the ground running, which to his credit, seems like he has.
Yeah.
So those are the two wide receivers. You've also got Chris Abrams-Drain, who's played well, and Payton complimented in that athletic interview. Audric Estime is going to get carries this year. It's their fifth-round running back at Notre Dame. We talked about Vele, looking like a good seventh-round pick, going to contribute immediately. And then Nick Gargiulo, who was their final pick 256. Still looks like contract.
Gargiulo.
Yeah, we'll see. Haven't heard much about him, but
he's the guy who looks like vampire.
Yeah. So not expecting a ton, but also like.
Well, I kind of expect a lot from vampires.
Anything he gives. Well, it's hard. He can only play during the night games.
Yeah, and none of the food can contain garlic. So it's a nightmare for the chef.
Yeah, it's gonna keep him away from wooden steaks.
Yeah. I don't think I'll be doing a roster prediction. Tom might. I'll predict it 5 minutes after the roster comes out. I don't like guessing. I don't like guessing. And yes, if Bo Nix is comparable to Dak Prescott as a quarterback, I will be over the moon. Over the flippin' moon.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. You know, there's a lot of young players. We praise the Packers for having a very young roster.
Mm-hmm.
And you get praise for that when you have your quarterback in place, which they magically, also have.
Of course.
So, if Bo's good, then hopefully he kind of elevates the play of some of the young players on offense. And overall, like, outside of Bo, there's just tons of questions about defense in terms of, like, is Vance Joseph the guy?
Yeah.
I fucking hope so. I'm rooting for Vance. But we saw how bad the defense could be last year with him, and we saw it get better after it was literally the worst defense I've ever watched in my life against the Dolphins.
Yeah, inarguably.
Yeah. And if Jonah Ellis is good, if like what we're seeing right now in the preseason translates to regular season games, and they find a guy, a stud, a dude on the edge, then that erases one of the biggest holes that I feel like they weren't able to answer this offseason. And, basically we head into the 2025 offseason with the money to address some of those holes in free agency if they're still there, if they still exist, which we just couldn't do this year. So.
Right. They also got a lot better. So I think their big weakness on defense, besides from like all of it early on, was their run defense.
Yes.
And I think they countered that nicely. I brought up, the draft class, but like John Franklin Myers is basically a part of that. Got him for cheap. You get Malcolm Roach away from the Saints. Nice pickup. And then, you get Owuzurike back from.
Back from.
So, yeah, it's like adding
gambling.
I hate when they're like, it's like adding a pick to your draft class. Like, well, it's not really, because you picked him 2 years ago.
His legs are going to be fresh, though, dude. He's going to have the freshest legs.
He's going to have fresh legs. Yeah, he's also not played football for a year. So that, I don't know if it's like riding a bike necessarily, but I think they wouldn't have brought him back from a gambling suspension if they didn't have high hopes for him.
Sure.
And, you got some guys to rotate. Zach Allen's a monster. You just got pieces there. You can feel good about stopping the run. Singleton's a machine. We'll see what we get out of Cody Barton.
Roster. Everything on the roster feels better if Bo Nix is good.
Well, of course, yeah.
Because like a month ago, I'd be like, I got big concerns about this roster.
Well, it's like the Texans last year. It's like, okay, CJ Stroud turns out to be the best quarterback drafted since Mahomes. I'm not going to check that. Let's say since like Burrow.
Sure. He's good. He's very good. He was very good as a rookie.
Yeah. Suddenly the receivers all look really good. Like Nico Collins becomes a star. Noah Brown leads the league in yards per reception, whatever. He raises the ceiling on literally every receiver. Yeah. Awesome. That opens up the run game. Suddenly you're playing with a lead. Now you can have Will Anderson, the third pick, start teeing off. The defense gets to be a little more opportunistic. Everything kind of trickles down when the quarterback.
Trickle-down economics work is what you're saying.
Yes. Also the war on drugs.
Yeah. Bo would lead the crusade against drugs. I firmly believe that.
Yeah, but like when were we in a position the last couple of years to like tee off on a quarterback?
We haven't been. It
hasn't happened.
Why did Von Miller
have so many sacks? Yeah, it's all been razor thin. Why did Von Miller have so many sacks from 2012 through 2015?
Because he had Peyton Manning lighting up the scoreboard.
Peyton Manning.
You get an early lead, those edge rushers can just do their thing.
Make the offense predictable. You don't have to worry about the run.
And I think the run game will be better because I think we'll see how good the offensive line was last year. And I think like the line was good, but I think teams just planned to stop the run against the Broncos.
Yeah.
So like I don't think the offensive line looked as good against the run as it really was. And it was much better in pass protection than it got credit for because Russ took too many sacks. So
Agreed.
I think the run game will be better. I think Javonte's healthier. I think
McLaughlin's gonna just take a step forward.
He's gonna give us those big plays.
I'm really excited about him. He might be. They always talk about that Sproles, Kamara,
sure,
Reggie Bush kind of archetype.
Yeah,
for Sean Payton. That might be who we're talking about with Jaleel McLaughlin.
Yeah. Jaleel McLaughlin, average draft position in Underdog, 153. Only projected to have 99 points. I think that's low, so I think you can get good value there. I need to get a QB here. I'm about to draft again. I've got Dak. I've got Brock Purdy. I've got Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert. I'm going to go Dak. He just fell to me. Dak. Nailed it. Again, Underdog sponsoring the show this year. That's how I pay the bills. That's how I pay Will to help me. If you don't know, this is Will Keys. He helps write every single episode you watch here on That's Good Sports. We've been writing together for years. We've been doing this podcast together on the That's Good Broncos channel for years. But this year I said, fuck it. Let's just do it. Let's do it live.
Should we promote the Thursday night show as well?
Yeah. We're going to have a Thursday night post-game recap. So every Thursday night as Thursday night.
Except for week one, which is actually Friday.
Week one, it will be Friday because Packers-Eagles game, a little more exciting, I think. But it'll be me. It'll be Will. It'll be my buddy John Na, our friend Carlos Herrera, who produces on the Bad Friends podcast. So, and hopefully guests every week. We'll have a guest. Hopefully it's a guest that is a fan of one of the teams we watched that night. And so we can just shoot the shit, recap the game, do our predictions for what's about to happen in the weekend. But we're really excited about it. So make sure you come back on Thursday nights. And Will and I will probably be live most Sunday evenings to recap kind of what goes down with the Broncos this season. Yeah. But, we got 2,600 people watching this via YouTube and Twitter. So we appreciate all of you guys. And we'll have a Tua episode up later today once I can finish up editing it. Need to edit my fucking brain, Will. God.
Well, that'd be nice.
Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Oh, wait, we have our new sign off. Good night.
And good luck. Go ahead, do it again.
Good night.
And God bless
Bo Nix. Or I could say good night. You could still say John Elway played his entire career without an ACL. And then instead of good luck, I'll say God bless Bo Nix.
Okay. You want to do that?
Good night.
And John Elway played his entire career without an ACL.
And God bless Bo Nix. Nailed it.